Hey YouTube, Squadron mates, how you guys doing? Dan the Plastic Man here, and I am thrilled beyond all belief to finally be bringing you guys this review. I've been waiting to do it. I was stoked about it as soon as this kit was announced. Without further ado, making its grand entrance, here is Master Grade Justice Gundam. Now, don't worry, the backpack is built, but I'm showing the suit itself off before we go into the full review because I'm going to deal with the articulation on the suit itself. Then I'll show the flight pack, and then I'll put it all together to show with the display stand that it comes with because boy, oh boy, what a kit. That is all I'm going to say. I first started out not being a huge fan of Justice. I was far more a fan of Freedom. Then I built Infinite Justice, and then I was like, okay, that's a really good kit. I don't mind that it's pink, so where's Justice? And after a 10-year wait, I can finally say, here it is. Now, real quick, we'll take a look at some of the details in here. They did a really good job with a lot of the panel lines. I personally love the face and head sculpt on this particular model. I'm going to raise my camera up here just a little bit so I'm not having to always lay the Gundam down. But you can see right here we have some really good lining channels. A lot of opportunity for painting, such as the clear blue piece right here that I painted. Everything that was supposed to be like for the head, the eyes, everything came in clear, so I went ahead and hit it with some Tamiya clear blue, and then I went over the outline of the eyes with black. I know it's supposed to have green eyes, but I've become far more a fan of blue just to differentiate a little bit. So, articulation of the head, you can get a full Exorcist 360. You can get a very good Funky Chicken. There's all the way up, there's all the way down. There's side to side. You can even get a... What's going on here? So then on to the shoulders, full 360. This, of course, will be hindered by the backpack, but then again, you're not really going to be needing to do this with the backpack on, and you'll see what I mean. The shoulder armor will come up, then the arm itself will come up that far. I'm going to go ahead and take the shield off so that you can see that the arm actually does only come up that far because of the way this shoulder armor is designed. You still get a full 360 at the bicep, great double bend at the elbow, and just like with the Freedom, the arm itself will extend to further accentuate that elbow bend. And then you've got a joint here in the wrist, and then you've got the wrist itself. Moving on to torso articulation, and oh my gosh, we've got a really good range of motion for the ab crunch. Good side to side, really good side to side. You can do some swivel at the waist as the rifle tries to take its leave, so I'll take that out of the hand. Skirting armor. Front will come up, sides will come out, and the rear will come down and out. So without having to deal with the hips, this is as far forward as the leg will come, and this is as far back as the leg will go. Now again, these are the same, it's the same internal frame as Freedom 2.0 and the Providence. So we've got the expandable hips right here that will swing out. Now again, I say it every time, but as long as you understand what you're dealing with these hips, and you're very gentle with them, you should not break them. But there is the full extension compared to non-extent, and that makes a bit of a difference. But the the leg now will come this far up, and it does pivot, so because of the way that it's designed, that's what happens when you fully extend these hips out. Now, onto the knee bend, and we've got an armor slide gimmick here and a great, just absolutely great knee bend. We've got, oh, I forgot to mention, movable thrusters on the calves as well as the crotch, actually. And this surprised me, the fact that you can move this. The ankles are fairly free range. This ankle armor, though, gets in the way just a little bit. And then the foot will itself move back and forward a little bit. And then the toe will point down like nobody's business. But you're not really going to be doing that much, because you've got these pegs right here, and they plug into the backpack for riding the flight pack kind of green goblin glider mode. Good grief, try saying that 3 times fast. Oh, and before I forget, here is the opening cockpit with the Playboy Atherin himself sitting in there. I really like the way this cockpit hatch is designed. So, there we go with just the Gundam itself. Now I'm actually going to move it off to the side, and we're going to take a look at the flight pack. This was a very fun build in and of itself. So we've got some articulation with the wings, but we've also got articulation with each of these little guns in these turrets. They will move up and down, and the turrets will traverse almost a full 360. You also get articulation here with the thrusters on the outside of the flight pack. You just move up the flaps here, and it extends the thrusters themselves. There's a nice little gearing system when you put this together. The rudder fins right here, you can actually pivot them in and out, as you can see. Now there's a ton of articulation here with the beam cannons. What you can do is you can first extend them like so, and then you can bend them down in any way you want. So you could technically have this plugged up to the back of the Justice with these hanging over his shoulder. Now there's another extension gimmick for the beam cannons, and this one is not nearly as secure as I would like it to be. But you can pivot the guns up, and then if you look inside here, you should be able to see a little track. There it is. Now there's a clip piece that the cannon is on, and that extends all the way down like so. But usually when I try to extend it, it comes off like this. It's just an annoyance. Nothing to write the kid off about. I promise you guys. And also, as I'm just finding out now, the beam cannon pylons can move out and move in. So there is a ton of articulation in this flight pack, and we still haven't even gotten to the wings, because now you can extend out for riding it, kind of Green Goblin style. But the wings, their main joint right here will rotate a full 360, and then you've got a 90-degree pivot out of this particular joint, and then you have another 360 pivot motion. Now this joint, I will say, this particular one likes to come out on me a lot. Either wing, it's just this particular joint. But there we go. And the wings are fully extended. And this is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. Let me sit this all the way back here. Bring in the Gundam itself. They're on the same plane. And yeah, that's really, really wide. And then one more piece of articulation, and this is probably, honestly, one of my most favorite parts and pieces of articulation on the flight pack itself, and it's right here. This is a compound joint that will come out in multiple directions, can also clip in thanks to the grooves in the pack itself. But when you flip this particular piece out and line it up like this, now not only do you have the main connection right here to go into the back of the Justice, you also happen to have the action base connector. So you can actually have it connected while it's connected to the Gundam. And obviously this is not going to stand like this. I'm just going to set this right here. And here is the display stand. I got to put it back together real quick. here is the display stand, and it's the exact same one that we got with Master Grade Fenice Rinascita. But you take this peg, drop it in, and he's not going anywhere. I've got to say that I like, out of all three that we've gotten with this particular frame, Justice, Freedom 2.0, and the Providence, I have got to say this one has the most stable connection to its display stand. The Providence is next, and then, excuse me, Freedom 2.0 sadly is the worst. But we still have more to talk about. Justice itself is a melee monster, and we've only seen the shield, and we've only seen the rifle. You can see the hilts for the sabers. They're stored here in the side skirt, and they are secure. They do not pop out at all. They don't flop out like on the Master Grade Infinite Justice. There is a hinge. They come right out, and they are easy to work with. And we have the saber effect parts, and I'm trying to see if I've got... Ah, here we go. These things are monsters, because here is a pair of your standard saber ones, which is what the Freedom 2.0 came with, and yeah. It's a little difficult because they're the same color, but let me line them up like this. And, yeah. Big freaking effect pieces. Put that off to the side. And then, of course, the sabers themselves, the hilts can combine, and you can dual-wield Darth Maul style. They just clip together like so. And then you would plug one of either of these two ports into one of the swappable fingers. We do deal with the swappable fingers yet again, and I'm starting to really like these, if I'm honest. I used to not like them, but given how easy they are to work with, I really like the swappable fingers. My favorite hands, though, are probably the 2.5 Master Grade hands from the Hyakushiki 2.0. And speaking of these hilts one more time, the plug that you can plug into a hand also is the reason why these are so stable in the skirt, because there is a peg that slots into the... Well, first let me make sure I'm plugging this in the right way. But it slots in, you close it up, and it's not going anywhere. And then, raise up just a bit more. There is only one other weapon left, and that is the beam boomerangs. So you open them up like this, he would hold on to it like this, take one of the effect parts, and boom, out you go. I find that on mine, though, these are just a little bit loose on the shoulders. Like, if you give them a good bump, they might come out. But let's go ahead and extend the beam cannons out. Okay. Again, that rail is proving to be a bit of an annoyance. But this is why I do my reviews the way I do, so that you guys can see that, you know, again, to me, this is nowhere near any kind of a deal breaker as I knock the V-fin off. And, doggone it, my battery is getting ready to die. So, I wanted to do a size comparison, but Freedom did not cooperate. So, real quick while I do this, let me get this plugged up. Oh man, I don't even have... Oh, here we go. Here's something I can do a size comparison with. Please, battery, do not die on me. Let me get the Justice out of its flight pack, move this off to the side, stand him up. I really do not like how my battery sometimes knifes me over. Here he is with GP04. Let me lower my camera just a little bit so you guys can see. Yeah, he's a big guy. So, I'm actually going to have to leave this review here, guys. I hope you liked it. If you did, please leave me a like, subscribe, leave me some comments. I love reading comments. Sign up for the Patreon, guys. I'm starting to get new ideas for higher level rewards. So, many thanks to my patrons. And I hope you guys enjoyed this review again. This is so thrilling. I absolutely recommend this kit. Now, Bandai, all you gotta do, give me the Savior. That's the only one of his suits we don't have. So, take care, guys. If you want me to do a follow-up on this, please let me know, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.